Morning, guys. Welcome to my 12-hour reading vlog this morning. Oh, that coffee's so good. I don't want to talk too much. I just want to get right back into reading. It's 10:30 and I'm about an hour and a half in. I did go back to sleep a little bit after I started reading this morning, so I paused the timer. If the timing seems off to you, that's why. Originally, I had wanted to do a 24-hour reading challenge, but if you follow me, you know that I'm just kind of getting back into my normal YouTube schedule. It took about like a month and a half off because I was producing this film and it just was consuming my life, and we wrapped and it was amazing, and now I'm getting back into my reading and YouTube and stuff. Fell a little behind my reading goals the past month and a half, and now only one book behind. I originally wanted to do a 24-hour reading vlog because I always just get, kind of caught up on my goals and feel the momentum. But honestly, like after a 24-hour reading vlog, I kind of don't want to read for like a week, because it's like you read 5.5 books in a day and you're like, I need a break because I need to process everything. So I thought, you know what, like other than doing this whole big undertaking, let's do 12 hours, get back into the swing of things, but also like in a way that I will want to read more this week. It is Sunday. It is such a nice day, like September day out. I think it's 61 degrees, which is amazing. All of the windows are open and I'm snug in this robe here. And Jean-Luc is working today, which I feel really bad about because I obviously would prefer to have him here, but there is something nice about just having a Sunday to myself and reading and just spending time with myself, putting on good music, eating good food. I do want to get outside and walk earlier in the morning, so I'm probably gonna do that after I film this little catch up. So yesterday I just wanted to give you an update on like the books that I'm currently reading, and then I'll shut up. I think I've said everything I wanted to say. Yesterday I finished 2 books. I listened to Die Hot, The Vengeance, Essays on Vanity by Sable Yang, which was great. I love the cover of this book, and I do love the contents as well. I rated it 4 stars. I said nothing that new or groundbreaking, but appreciate it nonetheless. It's like a feminist book about beauty, appearance, etc. in today's age. And I think the one thing that stuck with me most is like how this author used to work for Allure, and like she was like, there's nothing that like controls the price of beauty products. So like these brands that charge hundreds of dollars for like a moisturizer, like they just do that because they can. That's the brand name, and like you really don't need to spend so much money on your facial products, which I don't, because I just can't afford it. But I just kind of reinforced like you just have to look at the ingredients, and if the ingredients are there, like it could be $12 and that's fine. So I definitely recommend that. I also finished The Guest by Emma Cline, which was almost gonna be a 5-star read for me. It's this like character driven book, which I love, about this young woman around the time of Labor Day, which was last week, so it was a nice kind of thing to read during, because the words are not forming yet because the coffee has not hit, because I haven't really had any yet. But it was kind of leading up to this thing, and I just felt like the ending kind of took the easy way out, and I was like, okay, like I just read that whole book for this thing and like have no idea what happens, which is kind of sometimes typical of character-driven books, but it was still kind of frustrating. I would love to make that into a movie, that book. Anyway, those are 2 books I read yesterday. I also started listening to The Match by Sarah Adams on Spotify, which is what I was listening to this morning. That is what I will be listening to today, as my goal today is to really just try to sit down and read. I might do some cleaning, obviously some cooking, making myself food, so to keep actively reading, I'll be listening to this book, The Match by Sarah Adams. It's really cute so far. I've read a few other Sarah Adams books and I've liked them. My favorite was When in Rome. I think that would have been a 5-star read for me. This is really cute. It's I'm right now I'm on chapter 23, more than halfway done. I started it last night, so it's a quick one. It's about this woman who has epilepsy, and she has like a service dog, and she works for this nonprofit organization that pairs service dogs with other epileptic people. She meets this young girl who wants a dog, who is epileptic, and the girl has like a hot divorced dad, and basically it's that. It's really cute. It's really sweet. I love dogs. So I love this book. Just classic kind of like palate cleansing after reading two a little bit more serious books. And then I also last night started Once Upon a Broken Heart, which I've been wanting to read the series for so long. I just haven't started. I think I've had this book for over a year. I only have the physical copy of the first one. Depending on how much I like it, I might buy the other two, but I also might not. So we'll see. This is great so far. I read Caraval, which is like kind of connected to this book. So Stephanie Garber has written two trilogies, the Caraval trilogy, which came first, and the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy. They're standalone, but there are connections, and I've already recognized two characters, and I'm like, maybe I should have, because I like kind of forget what happens, but I kind of don't forget what happens. Hold for plane! Part of me is like, I kind of maybe should have read the other two, but I just really wasn't into the Caraval series, and this one is just so highly recommended, so whatever. No regrets. It's a fantasy book, and it's about this girl, this young woman, Evangeline Fox. The person she loves is engaged to marry somebody else, and so she makes this deal with the Prince of Hearts, who is this fate, which is kind of like, I guess, the equivalent of like a god, but the fates are kind of like evil. Jury's still out on like who the fates are and like what they all really are about. Prince of Hearts is definitely like not a good fate. She makes this deal with him to stop the wedding. I won't say much else because I think that's all the back of the book says. It's cute. It's moving fast. I do like it. Today I'm reading two kind of like low stakes books, like they're not too serious. I think Once Upon a Broken Heart's YA, the other one's a rom-com. So I'm going to have a little breakfast, and then I think I'll go on a walk, and then I'll sit down and read the physical book. 10 hours and 27 minutes left. 27 minutes. I do listen to books pretty fast. I'm listening to this at, 3 times. I can't always do 3 times. It depends on the narrators, but I have 3 hours and 34 minutes left, which really means 1 hour and 10 minutes left. Listening to a romance specifically, and like this is dual point of view, and it's like they both obviously want to be together, but like they're afraid to be the first person to say it, and then they just had the conversation where they're like, are we exclusive? Like, I don't need to be exclusive. Well, I don't need to be, and it's like they both want to be, and it's like so frustrating. Thanks, I hate it. I just started crying because I love dogs so much. Wow, so I went out, I did it, I'm done. I put my robe back on, and I don't plan on leaving for the rest of the day. It is so nice out, but I just don't feel like moving at all anymore. I think I'm just gonna do these dishes, let the book wrap up, tell you how it was, and then get over to my couch with her. sleepy. Okay, I just finished The Match, and it was great. I think I'd give it a 4 out of 5. So quick, like listening to it at 3 times speed. I think it must have been like a 2-hour read, like 2.5-hour read. Really nice palate cleansing book. Very sweet. I did tear up a little bit. Love the characters. I'd give it like a solid 4 out of 5, and would definitely recommend it. I don't know if it's my favorite Sarah Adams book, but it's definitely up there. I really liked it. I kind of like want more of the characters a little bit. We're at about 3 hours now. 9 hours and 8 minutes left. There's just something about logging on Goodreads that's so satisfying. So now I should be officially back on track with my reading goals, unless another day has passed and it's put me behind. I'm on track! I've read 4 books so far this month. I'm on my 5th, and it's only the 8th of September, so that I feel a little bit more like back on my... Let's get back into it. I have 6 hours and 10 minutes left, so about halfway through, and I just got onto part 3 of Once Upon a Broken Heart, page 257. I'm enjoying this book. It's moving fast. It's like a pretty easy read. I'm like ready for the characters to surprise me. For plot-driven books, I do like it when it just drops right in and the plot doesn't stop. I have a lot of questions about the characters' like intentions and stuff, and I have some ideas of like at least like who's good and who's bad, but not necessarily like anything beyond that, which is fun. It's fun to not really know where it's going. There's 403 pages, so I'll definitely finish this. Everyone is saying, including my friend Taylor, to read The God of the Woods by Liz Moore. So I think I just re-upped my Spotify listening time. So I think I'm gonna do that, and I had this like huge plan to like deep clean every crevice of my house. Definitely won't be going all out, but I think I'm gonna dust a little bit and clean the bathroom. I just need to like move, I think, so. I can read a little summary. When a teenager vanishes from her Adirondack summer camp, 2 worlds collide. Early morning, August 1975, a camp counselor discovers an empty bunk. Its occupant, Barbara Van Laar, has gone missing. Barbara isn't just any 13-year-old. She's the daughter of the family that owns the summer camp and employs most of the region's residents. And this isn't the first time a Van Laar child has disappeared. Barbara's older brother similarly vanished 14 years ago, never to be found. I'm already creeped out. I scare pretty easily. I'm still gonna read this. As a panicked search begins, a thrilling drama unfolds, chasing down the layered secrets of the Van Laar family and the blue-collar community working in its shadow. Moore's multi-threaded story invites readers into a rich and gripping dynasty of secrets and second chances. Let's clock in. I might have to bring the reading tempo down as I start this, and then I might bring it up once I get into it. Do you guys find that like if you listen to audiobooks, like when you start a new one with like someone with a new cadence, or it's like a genre that you weren't just reading, like you have to start it slower and then like you can pick the pace up as you go? Does that make sense? But I'm going to start this at a 2 because I was just listening at a 3, and then I'll probably move it up. But first, I have to do the most exciting thing and log that I'm currently reading this on Goodreads. I'm really happy with how all of my September books look aesthetically together so far. That always makes me happy. Okay, I'm gonna dust. morning. Anyway, I just did my nails and cleaned a bit. I guess I'll say the same thing I just said again. Yes, started listening to this book. I'm liking it so far. It's still the beginning, so we'll see. It's gonna be quite the woven web. We have multiple points of view. We have, I guess, alternating timelines between, they're like 2 months apart. You go back and forth. I cannot focus on an audiobook unless I am doing a task. Like, I can't just sit here and listen to an audiobook. Once I stop moving, my listening skills cease. Yeah, I'm digging this. I like this book a lot. We get back into this. I want to finish this in this sitting, I think. This is horrible lighting. I can't do it like this. Let's go into the kitchen. Okay, so it's 7:40, which is really the time I was supposed to be done with this, but I still have about 2.5 hours left because of the naps that I took today. I did finish Once Upon a Broken Heart. I don't know exactly what I want to rate it yet. I feel like I have to sit on it a bit, but I'm leaning towards like a 4.5 or a 4.75. This was a great book to read for a reading challenge. I could not put this down. It moves so fast. Great kind of start into like fall fantasy. Like I'm glad I didn't read this in the summer. I think I'm gonna do a 4.75 for this one. I don't know what took me so long. I've had this book for so long. I don't know what I want to read next. Let me log this one. And this will, I think, officially put me ahead of my reading goal again, which is where I'm meant to be. I'm gonna give it a 5-star on the Goodreads app, but then put in my notes, it's actually 4.75. I want to read the second 2 books of this trilogy soon. I think I might read like 1 or 2 books in between. I feel like sometimes with a series that you really like, to just read them all in a row super fast, it's like you don't get to savor it. So I definitely want to savor it. I wish I had done that a little bit more with like ACOTAR the first time I read it, I think, although I kind of don't. But I don't have the second 2 books anyway, so I need to like be with myself for a second to decide what I want to read next. So excuse me. I think I'm just gonna maybe do a little workout while I listen to the woods book. What happens in the woods, into the woods. She came from the woods, the god of the woods. I think I'm just gonna start listening to this and see where I take myself. I think I'm gonna do a little workout because I have not moved my body, like, except minus that walk. Resume her. So I just did like a small kind of simple workout. Her name is, I think, Mitzi. I can leave her down below. Anytime I'm just like, I don't really feel like doing like a full-on, like super hard workout. She does a lot of like standing workouts with no weights. And I just felt like I like really needed to move my body. Her workouts are really good if you're an audiobook listener because they have music, but no lyrics usually. So you can kind of like hear the beat over the AirPods or headphones or whatever you're using. So I don't know, it just works out. I'm liking this book. I wasn't sure it would be good on audiobook, but I'm happy that I'm listening to it on audio. It's moving quicker than I thought it would. I'm in part 2, so we're going now back and forth between other timelines. So before we were going back and forth between like 2 months, and now we're going back and forth between like the previous 2 decades basically. And then it looks like we'll go back to the timeline in part 1 and part 3, and then we'll go back in part 4 to the timeline in part 2. It looks like I feel like this is going to be like a huge web of characters being intertwined, which is really exciting, through like decades. I have an hour and 48 minutes left, and it looks like about a little over a quarter of the way done with this. So yeah, gonna do a little self-care. And then I was, during my workout, fantasizing about ordering the hard copies of the next 2 Once Upon a Broken Heart books, so I think I should do it. I'll give it another hour, and then if I still feel that way, I'm gonna make the purchase. I think it's good to be intentional about the books that you buy, because trees. Okay, I have pretty mood lighting in here, but I've been using this Glow Juice Refining Enzyme Mask with red seaweed and fruit enzymes. I think it's from Whole Foods. It kind of smells like gin. Just gonna let that sit. I'm gonna water the plants. Is this interesting? It's like, who cares? I'm gonna keep listening to my book. Okay, we're in the office. It's almost 11 o'clock and I'm out of audiobook listening time, but I'm not gonna re-up because I finished, well, I'm gonna re-up, just not the second, because I finished my 12 hours. It looks like I'm a little over 50% done with this. The God of the Woods book. I like it so far. Dealing with a lot of stuff, a lot of characters, a lot of vibes. I'm excited to keep going with it. I did decide I would like to read Madwoman next. This was my book of the month pick for September this month by Chelsea Eaker. This lighting is so bad. Here. This is the cover of the book. I don't know, I've just been reading a lot of like character studies about women losing it, and I thought, why not keep going with it? Yeah, this was really nice. I feel like I'm definitely back on track with my reading goals, and I was totally right. I think the 24 hours would have put me back into a slump. It would have caught me up a little bit more, but it would have, my relationship to reading would be a little like harrowed, you know? But now I feel like I did like a healthy amount, got back on track ahead of my goals. I'm really excited to read the next 2 books of the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy. So should I do stats real quick? I feel like no, like we have to be less, I didn't do this for the productivity, you know, I did it for fun. Yes, like having reading goals is good and stuff, but I think to calculate the amount of pages and my page per hour ratio right now just seems a little extra, so I'm not gonna do that. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will have another video for you this week. I'm trying to get back to my 2 videos a week, which is a lot if you have other work, but I'm trying my best. So let me know if there's anything specific you want to see or you like seeing, want to see more of, etc. I'm going to sleep now. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.